New at 5, a war of words between immigration officials and the Mecklenburg County Sheriff after a series of immigration raids this week. ICE saying the sheriff's policies are partly to blame, firing off this statement this afternoon saying in part, for ICE to suggest that dangerous people are suddenly walking out of jail is engaging in cynical fear-mongering. NBC Charlotte's Richard Devane live. Richard, a lot of strong opinions on both sides of this issue.
Absolutely correct. And you have to wonder, is ICE's decision something that has angered the Sheriff's Department? But I can tell you this, what the Sheriff's Department did by not allowing ICE officials into its jails to detain those folks who they believe may be illegal immigrants has angered the ICE agents, and they said so much earlier today.
We see such claims as ICE setting up roadblocks, doing raids, going into schools, at churches, etc. That's the furthest from the truth.
Sean Gallagher is the Atlanta Field Operations Director for ICE. Today, as protesters of the recent sweeps shouted outside, he defended his agents who arrested some 200 illegal immigrants from Sunday to Thursday inside the local offices.
I think the uptick that you've seen is, again, a direct result of some of the dangerous policies that some of our county sheriffs have put into place.
He says because some sheriff's offices are not allowing his agents to come into the jails and check on immigration status of people arrested, his agents have to find criminals on the streets.
It forces my officers to go out on the street to conduct more enforcement operations out in the community, at courthouses, at residences, doing traffic stops.
For ICE Representative Sean Gallagher to suggest that dangerous people are suddenly walking out of jail because of the termination of the 287G policy is engaging in cynical fear-mongering. Of those 250 had criminal convictions. Another 40 have pending criminal charges, and 50 ICE fugitives also in that group, and the remaining 60 were arrested because they were in the country illegally.
We conduct this specific targeted enforcement, going after specific individuals at specific places.
Tweet at CMPD right now.
It's the last group of arrests that have many in the Latino community so concerned.
It's absolutely ridiculous. We know that 287G is not in all cities, so that's an excuse.
For his part, Sheriff McFadden also adds that if ICE representatives want to sit down and talk about incarceration of all criminals, not just those in certain communities, he'd be willing to do that. Another thing Gallagher said from ICE, he said that basically his agency normally arrests some 50 people in the state of North Carolina in about a week. He says this week the 200, he said considers some numbers like that to be the new normal. We're outside the Mecklenburg County Detention Center. Richard Devane, NBC Charlotte.